Hi, hello, it's Sugar. This is a temporary guide to Halondrus on Normal and Heroic. This fight has been redesigned from its PTR version. I will re-upload a new version with footage from live as soon as I have it, but so we don't go in unprepared, here's a breakdown of the fight. This is a 3-phase encounter with short walking intermissions at 80 and 50%. These walking parts are considered Phase 2. Hero will likely be used in Phase 3. The raid should spread out loosely around the room. Reclaim is the first mechanic we'll most likely see. This ability shields the boss, does raid-wide AoE, and pulls players and ephemeral motes in. The longer it lasts, the more intense it will be. Ephemeral motes should look something like this. These spawn from seismic tremors that appear on the sides of the room. When touched, the mote will erupt and do raid-wide damage. I suggest staggering these, or use a healing CD to pop multiples. If a mote reaches the boss, Ephemeral Eruption occurs, dealing a large burst of damage to the raid. Never let an orb get to the boss to avoid a wipe. In Heroic, these motes will have Fractal Shell around them, preventing them from being popped by the raid. In order to break this shell, the tanks need to use Lightshatter beam on them. This is a frontal that the tanks need to aim at the mote to remove the shell. It should look something like this. Tanks will most likely want to be swapping every cast because of the debuff this leaves behind. A mechanic we did see in testing is Earthbreaker Missiles. This creates a 6-yard circle around each player. Spread out to the sides of the room and try not to trap other players because on expiration this leaves behind an Aftershock zone that explodes after 3 seconds. In Heroic, Plantcracker Beam has been added. We don't know what this looks like as it wasn't on the PTR, but if I had to guess, I'd say some sort of moving beam. Healers will have a dispellable debuff called Crushing Prism to manage. This dot is placed on several players, doing damage and slowing them over time. In Heroic, when dispelled, this leaves behind a shattered prism that reduces the movement speed of players and motes. I assume that this is left behind near the area of Dispel. Players should run to a seismic tremor and wait to be dispelled to help slow motes. Healers will also have to worry about Eternity Engine. This happens when the boss enters his Phase 1 Reclamation Form. It pulses out raid-wide AoE. Other than that, I'm not certain how often this occurs. Phase 2 is the walking phase. There will be light AoE on the raid until the next room is reached. The major ability in this phase is Shatter. This sphere does a knockback and damage to everyone when it detonates. Be careful of your positioning as you can be pushed off the sides. In Phase 3, Halondrus will lock into Eternity Overdrive, dealing raid-wide AoE and pulling in any ephemeral motes. Expect this phase to get hectic quickly. It grows in intensity every 10 seconds. Here's a TLDR. Hero Phase 3. Phase 1, stagger popping motes before they reach the boss. In Heroic, use Lightshatter Beam to break their Fractal Shell. Dispel Crushing Prism. In Heroic, be near an ephemeral mote spawn before dispelling. Spread out for Earthbreaker Missiles and avoid the Aftershock it leaves behind. Dodge the Plantcracker Beam in Heroic. Phase 2, position yourself so you don't get thrown off when Shatter detonates. Don't range your healers as raid-wide AoE is occurring. Phase 3, Eternity Overdrive, pulls in motes and players. Hero and burn. I hope this breakdown helps. I'll update this when I have footage from live. Okay, bye!